Hi, welcome to the Paper 2 walkthrough for AQA GCSE English Language. By the end of this video, you should be able to know what's required for questions 1 and 2 on Paper 2, which is to pick out specific details and to summarise the main views of the writers using evidence. Question 1. Multiple choice. You have 8 options and 4 are correct. Which are they? Look at the text. Does the author prefer the season of summer to winter? Look at the vocabulary. What do you think? The author uses words such as pleasures and delight about summer and heartfelt and bliss about Christmas, and this shows that he doesn't really regard either season as superior. Does the author enjoy buying gifts for his loved ones? Try to see if they're mentioned in the text. Look for other words too, like presents or trinkets. Gifts, presents, trinkets, none of these are mentioned, which means that gifts are not an issue in this piece of text. Is the writer inspired by the Christmas church service? Look for the word inspired or inspiring. Look for other words that might be related to that word. The author uses the word inspiring and elevated enjoyment and lifts the spirit, which shows that he is inspired by the church service. Do heavy snow and dark nights bring families closer? Look for evidence in the text. The author mentions snow, dark nights, social circle, and also each other, which shows that all these 4 things come together. Is it true that the author does not enjoy summer because it's too warm? Words like soft, voluptuous, delicious, and sunny show that the author does enjoy summer. Do you agree that the author is not keen on the church organ music? Words like grand and triumphant show that the author is very keen on church organ music. In summer, do people enjoy the beauty of the English landscape? Vocabulary such as feelings rush forth and positive adjectives such as sunny and soft show that people enjoy the beauty of the English landscape. Does the writer enjoy the full choir and church organ music? Vocabulary such as grandeur, triumphant, and harmony show that the author enjoys the choir and church organ music. This is question 2, where you write a summary of the differences in the views of the two writers. It's 8 marks, so you should do 2 paragraphs, 4 marks per paragraph, and you should use the point evidence explanation technique. It's not a technical language question, so you don't need to mention techniques. You need to firstly choose your quotations and write what they show, and then you need to analyse that by explaining what the reader would understand from these quotes. If you can develop your explanation further by perhaps making external references, that will get you top marks. So what are our writer's views? Let's look at the first text and highlight the important vocabulary which will inform our answer. The writer of text A shows that he feels very affectionate towards Christmas. For example, the quotations, "Christmas awakens the strongest and most heartfelt associations," "sacred feeling," "elevated enjoyment," "beautiful story," and many other quotations show that he's very at home and in some ways in love with Christmas. As well as enjoying Christmas, he enjoys his social life during the Christmas period. The quotations, "the pleasures of the social circle," "the charm of each other's company," and "domestic bliss" show this. The writer of source B uses the word atheist twice towards the beginning of the passage, and she says that she regards Christmas as a total no-go zone due to the orgy of consumerism. She notes that the planet is burning in front of our eyes, and that capitalism will literally be the death of us. The situation's beyond urgent, and she mentions how serious climate change is becoming. Once again at the end, she reiterates that she doesn't believe in God. Your task now is to summarise the writer's views with evidence and explanation, saying what the reader would understand, and contrast the 2 points of view. You do this in 2 paragraphs for your 8 marks. Time to write. So how can we put those quotations into an answer? The quotations that we've picked here show that the author regards Christmas affectionately, as it raises strongly positive emotional feelings in him. He also says that at this time of year he enjoys the company of his friends and family. So we know which quotations we're using and we know what they mean. How can we explain how the reader would be affected? There are many other things that you could write about this passage. For example, there's lots of other vocabulary showing how much he loves the season. Plus, we did not mention his love of church music, which you could also include. It's best to limit yourself to 1 paragraph on each text, as it's only 8 marks. The author of Source B has rather different views on religion and on the cultural importance of Christmas. The author of Source B is very negative about Christmas. She's not religious, she doesn't enjoy the cultural experience or gift giving of the Christmas season, and in fact, she's very worried about the environmental impact of doing these things. So once again, using the quotations that we picked, we need to quote them and explain their effect on the reader. We've explained her use of the word atheist and orgy of consumerism to mean a lack of religion and too much money involved in Christmas. And then she moves on using quotations to talk about the environmental impact of Christmas. And here's the final answer to question 2. You can see the main points in purple, the quotations in green, the explanations in blue, and in pink, a connective statement or a signpost statement to show the reader the purpose of your paragraph. Well done, you've completed the walkthrough for AQA GCSE English Paper 2 questions 1 and 2. If you need to know anything more or want to see it again, go back to the beginning.